fuck you. Well, that's the thing where I was actually. Well, that's the thing. It's like it's one of those things where. Well, we'll talk later about it. All right. Good night. All right. I had some technical difficulties on the last stream, but I had another thought on this Matrix. I wanted to say where. Um. Well, where's this fucking shit? The guidelines. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. You had a thought on that shit. Yeah, yeah. 1 second. Yeah, getting back to the Matrix. So what I was saying was, it's just crazy how the elites they like to twist the stories and shit like that, right? Um, they try making people go back on their beliefs, and oh, the Matrix was just you know, the Matrix was really just a story all this time, and you know, when the Matrix is based off nihilism, right? An allegory. But before I got rudely interrupted, right? This Matrix and this simulation, this program that we all live in, right? We're surrounded by sentient programs, right? That's why you ever wonder when you ever wonder when you're sitting in traffic, right? You know, uh you're sitting in throughway traffic. Uh you ever wonder, like, all these cars with people in them? Well, they're sentient programs, right? Um you're sitting in traffic on the throughway, right? And you have all these cars, and you're looking in the cars, and you're seeing people, right? But they're not people, though. You're seeing hundreds of thousands of cars on the throughway, right? You can't, in some of these cars, you can't even see who's in them. Rush hour, that's what it's called. Rush hour. You ever notice when you're on the throughway, you ever watch the news and you see the rush hour? You see all these hundreds of thousands of cars, right? Do you really believe that there's real people in all of those hundreds of thousands of cars? I'll answer that. No. I'll tell you why, right? Because those aren't people in those cars. They're sentient programs. They're not real. If you ever watch the news, if you're ever sitting in traffic on rush hour on the throughway, you see all these cars, you're waiting to get out of traffic. You think there's real people in all those cars? No. They're sentient programs. They're not real people. They're robots. They're AI intelligence. They're not real people in the cars. You know, that's part of the simulation, the Matrix. You know what I mean? I always wondered that when I'm watching news and I've seen all these cars until I really unprogram. I'm like, those aren't real people. Those are sentient programs. You know. I remember I'll never forget this when I was sitting in rush hour in traffic when I used to live in Japan. I literally seen a robot sitting in a car passing me by, and it was like a drone type, whatever. He's just sitting there like, and he's making all these robot. And I remember even as a kid thinking, is that a robot? But it's this Asian dude sitting in the car, but it's you know, he looked like a robot because he was making all the robotic movements, but he was driving. And I remember, now that I'm unplugged for the Matrix now, that was a sentient program sitting in rush hour. And that's what a lot of these cars are, you know. So a lot of these cars and people you see in cars, they're not really, they're robots, AI intelligence, you know. They're not real people, they're programs, you know. You say, well, I don't believe that. Well, then don't believe it. The next time you see a car, a tinted window car on the throughway, and they're just sitting there, you tell me, you be the judge, you know. They're not real people because it's just part of the program. We live in a simulation. This shit is just, it's not, a lot of this shit is not what the eye proclaims it to be. It's not real. You know, everything that glitters is not gold. You know. Let me read somebody talking shit in here. We got here. Yeah, Mary. Yeah, Dream. I believe the Matrix is simulation. Simulation, absolutely. Super Sir, don't worry about him. He's got some crazy opinions. Well, they may be opinions to you, crazy or existing funny dude. To me, it's truth, and I believe this shit. So they may be opinions to you, but they're truth to me. Like I said, we can agree to disagree. You know, I have been in Japan. The Matrix is based off the Bible. Yeah, absolutely. I know it is. Dion, do you hate shirts? Yeah, I hate shirts. I'm racist against shirts. See, here's the thing. Existing funny dude, bro. If I didn't like you, I would call you an Agent Smith. I really would. But you're not an Agent Smith, existing funny dude. You're programmed. You know. I think existing funny dude. I think you're a cool dude. Don't get me wrong, but you're programmed in the Matrix. And but you're not the only one. You are programmed in the Matrix, but there's a lot of people who still are. You know. And like I said, I don't hate you for it. You're a cool dude, but you're programmed. You know. But it is what it is. You know. And the thing is, too, it's like, I don't want to say an Agent Smith has gotten into existing funny dude, but I don't. No, I just think he's just programmed. But there's a lot of people who are still programmed, and that's another thing too. Agent Smiths, they can get into anybody because they're part of the hacker and all that. Um, but yeah, I mean, existing funny. If this is if crazy opinions to you, then There's nothing I can say, you know. You have to unplug in order to grasp this shit. If you don't unplug, you know, you'll never get it. That's why it comes off as crazy opinions, you know. You know what I mean? Like, so, but it is what it is. Like, I when I understand this shit, you know, I understand that you're programmed still, so it is what it is. Yeah, Dream. I have seen the new Spider-Man. Actually, I did a video on the new Spider-Man too, the new programming. And I'm not knocking on you, existing funny dude. I'm just saying, you know, like if you think these are crazy opinions, then you're obviously programmed. You know. And I've said this before on my past shows. The number one way to tell somebody's program is if they say the Matrix movies are just a movie. If you think the Matrix movies are just movies, you're programmed because you don't know the hidden stories behind the movies, right? Now, this newer movie, right? You know, that, but see, even this newer movie, new Matrix movie, right, had a lot of truth in it. There was a lot of truth in the new Matrix movie, but at the end of the day, there was some propaganda in there too. A lot of the feminist agenda, right? But that's the number one way to tell somebody's programmed if they say it's just a movie. Oh, that's just a movie. That's just a Hollywood sci-fi science fiction, and that's another thing too. Science fiction is actually real. But see, this Matrix and simulation has programmed you to believe that science fiction is not real. You know, and I'm not smoking any weed. I don't smoke weed, nothing like that. This is all truth. This is all coming from, you know, I don't smoke meth, crack, any of that. Like um, some people on YouTube who go out and stab trees, you know, make shitty rap songs, you know, between the cholos, you know, cholos in the West Coast. Come on, that shit, you know, pretend they're Asians, you know. Yeah, we're not gonna mention their names here, you know. But just know if I ever seen them, I slap the shit out of them. I'll tell you that much. You know. They on the West Coast. They shit on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Piece of shit. You ever on the East Coast, I slap the shit out of you. I do have my passport. See, and I've been to pretty much everywhere here on the earth. The only I've never been to France, Paris, you know, but I've been everywhere else. Like I've been to, you know, like I said, next year I want to, after my boxing match, I want to go past the ice walls in Antarctica. You know, I have a ton of friends too. Like I have a ton of friends who are programmed, but you know, the only way to get them unprogrammed is if I help my friends out. You know, that's why Morpheus, the character Morpheus, is such a hero because he saved Neo. He went into the Matrix to save Neo, to unprogram him. If Morpheus didn't do that, there would be no hope for the simulation. You know, the Matrix would have never been broken. That's what I plan to do. That's why I'm in the Matrix right now. Because I'm trying to go in and save as many people and unprogram them as possible. You know. Granted, now I can unprogram from the Matrix when I want to, but I choose to go into this simulation, this program, and save people. You know. Because that's what's kind of human being I am. I want to save people out of this Matrix that we live in. And here's another thing too. The Matrix is already breaking. Look at the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Ghislaine Maxwell has been indicted on her crimes. Jeffrey Epstein, you know. Coach Eli's giving advice on dating. Coach Eli is giving advice with teddy bears in his bed. You know. The Matrix is breaking. That's all I could say. And Herman Branch, if you're watching this, if I ever see you in the streets, that's another dude too. Like that won't. See, I scared away Herman Branch. Like, that's why he changed his name to Meta Ninja, because he's, you know, Herman Branch is afraid of me. Jones Nursery. Who's Jones Nursery? Hello there, Jones Nursery. I don't know who that is, but is that Raleigh? Is that Raleigh Jones? Who's Jones Nursery? Oh yeah, that is Raleigh. Okay. Yeah, we got the great Raleigh. I had a feeling that was Raleigh. I'm like, who's Jones Nursery? Yeah, we got the great Raleigh in the house. I started a tree nursery. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had a feeling that was Raleigh. I wasn't sure though. Yeah, Raleigh Jones is a great dude. I'll be right back. Well, that was the thing where it was like, well, it's an interesting perspective. So does anyone else here drink out of a can? Or is it just me who's unprogrammed from the Matrix? See, I'm unprogrammed from the Matrix and I still drink out of a can. Riley's a wonderful man, absolutely. Yeah, Herman Branch. Here's the thing with Herman. Me and Herman go way back. You know, um, Herman's welcome to come to my dojo. We can spar or whatever, but he'll never come. You know, Herman's a coward. Herman's a coward just like Marty Fat Pablo is. You know, just like Del Brown. You know, and I know what Herman. I know what Branch looks like. You know, you know, I'm not gonna say too much, but late night, late night Dion talk show. Yeah, Herman. Let's just say me and Herman Branch, aka Meta Ninja, we've had some encounters. You know, but yeah, Herman Branch, he's a coward. You know, Freddie. See, and that's another thing too. Freddie Lee told me about Herman Branch too. Like and here's another. Freddie disclosed this. He told me the reason Herman Branch makes all these videos on him is because Freddie sparred Herman Branch at his coon. And Freddie Lee, he wiped the floor with him. You know, Freddie Lee beat the shit out of Herman Branch, and that's why he started making all these videos on him. I didn't know that until I had a, you know, till Freddie told me when we were at his coon. And I'll be going back to Freddie's coon this summer too. Um, I'm gonna start training with Freddie again. So yeah, hey Herman Branch, you didn't tell everyone about that, about how you and Freddie got in the octagon. You know, that's because Herman Branch is a fraud. You know, Herman Branch is a fraud, just like Sifu Frank, Marty Pablo, all these guys. You know, Sifu Frank, if I'm ever in San Francisco, I'd like to spar you as well. You know, you'll never take the challenge, but Sifu Frank, he likes to shit on Bruce Lee's legacy because Bruce Lee defeated Jack Wangman, right? Because a lot of the San Francisco area is jealous of Bruce Lee because he defeated Jack Wangman in that area. That's why Sifu Frank, they like to shit on Bruce Lee's legacy, you know. But see, Sifu Frank would never say that to Bruce Lee's face if he was here, you know. No, not at all. Anybody, and that's another thing. Anybody who talks shit about Bruce Lee, they would never see if Bruce Lee was. That's my whole thing. If Bruce Lee was alive now, nobody would say any of this stuff that they're saying about Bruce Lee. You know, it's easy to talk shit about, you know, somebody who's not here. Bruce Lee was here, nobody would. Let's put it this way: if John Jones, if John Jones was in front of Bruce Lee, John Jones wouldn't even say anything to Bruce Lee. You know. You say, do you think Bruce Lee could take John Jones? Absolutely. I do. I believe that. I think Bruce Lee could take any MMA fighter that's in MMA right now. Yeah, Riley says Bruce had mad skills. Absolutely. Herman does judo and karate. So he says. I doubt that. More like he does sumo wrestling. Jermaine does shoots. Herman Branch not a bad fighter, but I already know about Herman Branch. I've talked to Freddie. Like Freddie told me, is like if me and Herman ever got into a dispute, I would have no problem with Herman. You know. Herman's a psychopathic lunatic, you know. The guy needs mental help, you know, all that, you know. Ask Herman about when me and him, I was supposed to meet him at Freddy's dojo. He never showed up. Never showed up. Herman Brandt, he never showed up, you know. And that's why he makes all these videos on Freddie Lee, because Freddie washed the floor with him. Negasonic says, I study Mexican judo as in judo know who you're messing with, Holmes. So Negasonic, you're a judo practitioner. It's good to wake up early. How's the... Yeah. Well, that was the thing, like... Yeah, I didn't know you were a practitioner in judo. You practice better judo than Herman Branson does. Hey, hello, Wiccans in the house. The lovely Wiccan. Herman Branch, Sifu Frank. You guys are all welcome to come to my dojo anytime, you know. And that's why Sifu Frank, he's so jealous of Bruce Lee, because Bruce Lee's from San Francisco, and he's jealous that Bruce Lee defeated Jack Wong Man there, you know. Yeah, yeah, that's why they're jealous. Bruce Lee. Hey, J Bob in the house. How you doing? Martin is too old to fight. He's 65. Yeah, Martin's a coward too. But yeah, if you're going to go see the new Matrix movie, um, you know, and like I said, I've met Keanu Reeves before. Um, I really went to go see the film because I wanted to support him, but you know, it just he just basically did the film for the money because the script was so bad. Like it was just, but yeah, go see it once, and I may go see it in IMAX again just for the visuals. You know, the fight scenes and the visuals were great, but you know, there were some cool fight scenes in there, man. But you know, the visuals. But as far as the story, it just, man, they really disappointed me. Hope you and the wifey had a great Christmas. Yeah, we did. I don't celebrate Christmas, but she does. You know, I don't really celebrate Christmas, but she celebrates Christmas, so I kind of joined in. But yeah, it was great. You know, I guess I celebrate the idea of Christmas, but um, I get the whole gifts exchanging and shit. But if you really dig down um, to the whole Santa Claus and it's just deeper, the whole Christmas thing. But that's another video for another time. But Yeah, the holidays were great, you know. If anyone would like to come on the panel, let me know. But yeah, I would advise to go see the Matrix movie once and then give your thoughts and details. But you know, being in 2021, it's like I would have thought there would have been more truth, but they tried to sway the truth from this film to make it seem like the truth the whole time was just all a lie. That's what I hate about the film. Now, obviously, if you're on program like me, you'll know that it's been the truth the whole time. But they're trying to play cause that's what the television through a lie, you know. That's good. I hope you spoiled her. Absolutely. We actually, spoil each other. Like so. A relationship's a two-way street. He says Merry Christmas. Yeah, it's not Christmas anymore, bro. Yeah, if anyone would like to come on the panel, let me know. Where's Dream? Does anybody know if Dream is streaming right now? The American Dreamster. I was in one for 25 years. It was good for a while. Oh, you mean a relationship or a marriage? We can. Yeah, the Dreamster's here. Dream, are you live right now? A relationship, yeah. Yeah, I don't really agree with the idea of marriage. I think marriage is you know, I feel like if you're together for more than 6 months or a year, like, you know, you're basically married. Like, you don't need to go and get, you know, this certificate and sign to get married. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in marriage for more than fucking, you know, a year, you're pretty much married. You don't need to go sign a government certificate to get married. You got to get paid to get divorced. Paid. Like if you get divorced, you got to pay. I think it was 10 grand or something. Shit like that. Like, yeah, dreams. Yeah, I mean, Dream's a great guy, man. I Dream's a great person, man. I wanted to marry him. He did not want to get married. He's now dating. What does that say? He's now married. He's now dating a woman as old as my oldest kid. Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, but see, that's not going to last long, on his end. Like I said, marriage is pretty much bullshit. It's a false ideology of commitment, and you know, if you remember in the Bible days, they did some ceremonies, but there was never a written contract. You know, um, like King David, King David had like 43 wives, 900 concubines, and all that. Like, is marriage really a real thing? Like, you know, and that was before the simulation was set up. In the biblical times. You know, King David, King Solomon, they had 900 wives, 43 concubines, and all that. Like, they were, you know, yeah, there was never any ceremonies. Like, well, actually, there was, but, you know, it's not a real concept. Like, it's not, you know, it's almost kind of like slavery in a way. Especially well, I'm not going to say too much on that, but yeah, I better, I'm saying too much. Um, Super Serg says he got married 9 times. I don't want him trying. I don't want him trying to come back here. Super Serg has been married